apologizing because it was only a joke. It doesn't make me a racist. I'm not letting you guys guilt trip me like this. What's next? You want me to apologize because my ancestors were some slave masters or something stupid? Star, this is just one prime example of the many different things that Haley not only says to you, but also does. And it really affects how you feel, and it needs to stop. The thing about you and Haley is that you guys have completely different personalities, and with that, you guys make decisions differently. On one side, Haley acts out of emotions. When she's sad, she'll say whatever she feels. When she's mad, she'll say whatever she feels. When she's upset, angry, whatever it is, she doesn't care what people think. She just wants to be right. And whenever she feels upset, she wants to say her piece. But you, on the other hand, you sometimes act out of emotions, but you typically like to keep them in because you don't want to come across as the angry black girl in your Williamson school. I think it's time that you and Haley sit down, have a chat about the tension that goes on between your friendship, and that you need to start standing up for yourself. Our problem is that you and Haley have a conflict, and that you guys need to figure it out. You first need to decide if the friendship is worth saving or not. The problem is that Haley's being selfish. She's a mean friend, she's not nice, she says whatever she feels, and she doesn't realize the words that she says affects you and affects lots of other people as well. And it's gotten to the point where it's gotten out of hand, and that you need to do something about it, because it has to stop. I move Maya out of the way, and I slam my fists against the side of Haley's face. I hit Haley with my fists, she slaps and claws me upside the head. I push her off and she hits the floor. After this incident at school, you and Haley will probably never be the same again. Because with you and your decision making, you got to the point where you were so upset with Haley that you just lashed out. And that's the difference between you and Haley. Because sometimes you do this, but Haley does it all the time. So our solution, and my solution to you, Star, is that you need to decide if the friendship is worth saving. In the time that you and your mom were at IHOP eating breakfast, she told you that you needed to figure out if the friendship was worth saving or not. She said you have to decide if the friendship is worth salvaging, make a list of the good stuff, make a list of the bad stuff. And if one outweighs the other, then you know what you gotta do. The thing about talking with Haley is that you do not have to become best friends with her. But talking it out and seeing how Haley knows how important this is to you and how much you've been hurt by Haley, I think it'll help the situation and it'll help the conflict sort of resolve. According to valueoptions.com, there's different strategies that you can take to talk through problems. So before talking with Haley, think about your own part of the tension. Think, like, what parts did I go wrong? What parts did I hurt Haley? Think about the parts that you did wrong, and that way when you go talk to Haley, you can try to understand where she comes from, and she can understand where you're coming from. Secondly, figure out the best time to talk to Haley. Think about, before you get together, think about what you want to say to Haley, so when you come and meet up with her, you're not just rambling on and on. Think about a detailed list about what you want to say and just keep it at that. It doesn't have to be anything too huge. Third, once you're with Haley, once you have sat down, avoid talking about your differences. Try to find some common ground with each other and build that common ground. You want to keep your venting to a minimum because you don't want her thinking that you're just yelling at her, telling her that she's a terrible friend and a terrible person and all of this. But you want to ask questions and try to understand where she's coming from, because you never understand, or you never will know if she's dealing with her own insecurities or problems at home and in her private life that you don't know about. So once you talk to Haley about how you're feeling and tell her that you apologize for all the stuff that you've done wrong in the friendship, address what's causing the tension. Address the big elephant in the room. Address the incident where you guys got into a fight at school. Address the comments that she has said to you that have hurt you. Address everything that you have been feeling. Address them to her and tell her exactly how you're feeling. And then after telling her that and talking through that, ask for input. And ask for input on how you can fix your side of things and how she can fix her side of things. And lastly, don't expect instant results. We know how Haley is, we know her personality, we know how she makes her decisions, so we can't expect that she is going to be perfectly fine and gonna love you and be nice to you right after this talk is over. because you never know what'll happen. So why is this the best decision, and why is this the best solution for this problem? Well, according to the article, 6 tips for making decisions, there's 4 ways that people make decisions. 1 is gut instincts, 2 is data, 3 is information, and 4 is knowledge. Star, you base a lot of your decisions off of gut instincts and knowledge. You're a lot more wiser than Haley is, and because you and Haley both have very different lives and you guys just different personalities, and so you base all your decisions off of your gut instincts and what you think is right and what you think is the good thing to say, and your knowledge. You use your knowledge and your brain and your heart for others to make your decisions, and you're smart with them as well. Haley, on the other hand, makes her decisions off of her gut instincts, what she thinks is right for her and her only, not anybody else. She'll base her decisions off of gut instincts, and that can go and play into emotions as well. And she never ever wants to admit that she's wrong, which is why I think it's so important that you guys sit down and you guys have a conversation and you guys can talk about how you guys are different in that way, which I think is important as well. Talking through the solution and talking through the problem is the best solution, because then you guys can get past the conflict and then you can have some kind of peace with each other. You don't have to become best friends, but at least you guys can move past it and not have to hold those burdens and that weight against each other for the rest of your high school years and even the rest of your life. Obviously, there will be some objections and some things that might end up happening. For one, Haley might not even want to talk to you. And so if in case she wouldn't want to talk to you, there's some things that you could do. What you could do is you could write her a note, write her a letter, explain everything that you're feeling, and then you can give it to her. That way she has that she knows that you care and you want to make the friendship work. And then it's on her part. If she wants to read the letter, or if she doesn't want to read the letter, or if she just doesn't care at all, that's on her. At least you have done the best thing that you can do, and that's all you can do. And secondly, let's say the conversation does not go the way you want it to go. Let's say it makes things worse. Let's say like anything bad could happen. At least you tried your best, and you told her how you're feeling, and that's all you can do. Just do your part of it, and then it's up to Haley to do the rest. So in conclusion, hopefully you understand the concept and the importance of talking with Haley and trying to resolve your conflict with each other. Even though it could go many different ways, you'll feel better once it's all over. Thank you.